Hey guys, it's Amon and Christina from the Our Rich Journey podcast. We are answering your questions about saving, making, and investing money for financial independence. And we have a great question today for our business owners, for our entrepreneurs, for our self-employed folks. What investment accounts can they invest in?
Perfect. Yes, this question comes from Erika. She is a business owner and wants to know about different investment accounts available to her, as you said. So let's listen to the question and then get to the answer.
Hey guys, my name is Erika. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Okay, so my question is, I am a business owner. I am an immigrant here in the United States, but I do not have retirement accounts, and I have my own business. I do really well on my business, but I want to know how to achieve financial freedom without having any retirement accounts like Roth IRA or 401k. So, yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
I'm excited about this question.
Yes, because I think there's some information that we can share with her that she might be surprised to hear. So she just said she is a business owner.
Can we just pause for a minute?
Yeah.
You know, investing knowledge, financial literacy, it has really been a game changer. Like, it is life-changing information. And I get so excited about folks when they're asking these questions because we have just talked to so many people that knew absolutely nothing about investing that have gotten to a point where they could probably do this podcast right now. They have learned so much about investing. So I'm excited that it sounds like she's in the beginning stages. To me, those are the stages that are the most crucial. Fundamentally, she's going to be set off in a direction that is so important. So no pressure answering this question, Christina.
No pressure.
But set the tone.
Set the tone. Okay, so let's set the tone. And what I want to break it down into is actually tax advantage retirement accounts and then standard brokerage accounts. And standard brokerage accounts, I could just spend a tiny bit of time on because I really want to focus on these tax advantage retirement accounts. So Erika said she is a business owner. And she says she doesn't have retirement accounts. She said a 401k, and then she mentioned either a Roth or a traditional IRA. I don't remember which one she mentioned, but there are actually tax advantage retirement accounts for business owners where you have the IRAs available, where you have the 401ks available. It's not through an employer because you're your business owner, but there's things like a solo 401k that you can create for yourself as a business owner. There are tons of different IRAs, the traditional IRA, the Roth IRA, the SEP IRA, the simple IRA. These are all tax advantage retirement accounts. And don't forget also about the HSA. That's an actual triple tax advantaged account. If you have a high deductible health insurance plan, then you can also qualify for an HSA. These are all types of accounts that can help protect your money from taxes so that when you're investing your money can grow even more.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to understand as a business owner how you can take advantage of all these different tax advantages available to you. And that's by first understanding all the different accounts that are available to you.
Yeah, business owners are in a very unique situation because they can really develop their business to be as efficient as possible so they can minimize the amount of taxes. Business owners do a lot of write-offs for expenses, but there's also this ability to create your own investment accounts, like the solo 401k, like the SEP IRA. I love these types of accounts because you get to go in and you get to decide where you want to open these accounts. And when I say where you want to open these accounts, I mean like you get to pick the brokerage company that you can go and open these accounts at. And based off of the offerings at that brokerage company, you can take full advantage of investments that fit your particular needs. But her question, I think we have to just back up from a minute, because She really wants to know, how do I get started building wealth for financial freedom? And that's so important. She recognizes that in order to go to the next level, in order to reach the ultimate, I think the ultimate personal finance goal, to reach financial independence, you have to invest. And so whenever you're making an investment, you start off, first of all, by devising an investment plan. And that plan should identify the types of accounts that you want to put your investments in. So as a business owner, based off of your personal situation, you have to pick the most advantageous account for you. And usually it's those tax advantage accounts like the SEP and solo 401k that are most efficient for you to build wealth and reduce taxable income. Because when you can reduce what you're paying in taxes, that means more money that you can invest back into your business, invest to grow wealth. The savings are just incredible. So if I were her, I would go back and maybe she should start off with just like some fundamental reading about overall investment strategies. And there's a book we often recommend. It's the Boglehead's Guide to Investing, right? That fundamentally we think is a great place to start to develop that financial literacy. Once you have that financial literacy, right? And even at the same time that you're reading the book, then you can identify the accounts and the investments to put in those accounts that can help you get to that level of financial freedom, right?
Yeah, I think the Boglehead's Guide to Investing, that is an incredible book, especially for beginners. But even if you're a seasoned investor, I think it's still a really useful book. It is so straightforward. It's written so well. And you can actually read it in one night. You can be done with the book. It's a short book. So I think absolutely you should check out that book, because when you're at the beginning stages, like you said, it's about building that financial literacy and understanding that the steps that you take now, if you take the right steps, they could propel you to such growth in your portfolio, to financial independence in the long run. Now, that's not to say if you started later and you had a couple of missteps, it's not to say that you're not going to be able to get to fire, but when you're at your beginning stages, focus on that financial literacy. And that includes not only knowing the types of investments that you're going to make, but understanding the different types of accounts that are available to you, understanding the way that fees can be charged when you're investing, understanding the difference between brokerages and finding out the best brokerage firm that you can invest in. There's so many different layers to understanding your finances. And I'll tell you, we've been investing throughout our entire journey and we're still learning. We're still trying to keep up with all of the information that comes in. I mean, there's no endpoint with financial literacy. It's continuous. And so I love that you asked this question. I love that there's information, hopefully, that you can take from this, which is to go out, understand that you actually do have quite a few different retirement accounts, tax advantage retirement accounts that you're eligible for as a business owner, and going out and finding out about that information. Now, I said there's the second point, which is the standard brokerage account, that I would just talk briefly about, because again, when you're understanding all of the different accounts that you can invest in, you want to think about fees, you want to think about saving money on taxes, you want to think about the different investments that you can put in each account. So when we invested, we prioritized our tax advantage accounts first. And that's why I said I want to separate these. I want you to understand all the different tax advantaged accounts that are available for you. And then we'll briefly talk about the standard brokerage account, because for us, we focused on those tax advantage accounts. The standard brokerage account doesn't give you those tax benefits. It's like if you max out all of your tax advantage accounts, because they're not endless. The government won't give you endless tax advantages. There's a maximum that you can contribute to all of these accounts. Once you get to the point where you've maxed out the contributions to that, you don't need to stop investing. The idea is put your money into a standard brokerage account.
Yeah, and the brokerage account, it's really about access also, because with these retirement accounts, there are certain limitations on accessing the money that you put into those accounts. But with a brokerage account, you can put that money in and you can take it out if you need to. I want to say something else. Whenever I have a conversation with a new investor, it's so important to also talk about mindset, because I think so many new investors, they just want to just jump right into investing. They want to know, what should I open? What should I invest in? And they just want to get started as soon as possible. But at the same time, you also have to be working on your mindset as an investment. You see, that's the difference between a successful investor and an investor that fails. I'll just come flat out and say it. A big part of investing has to do with your mindset. And you have to understand that your background, the history that you have, all of the financial baggage that you may be bringing along into investing will play a role in how you react and how you go about this process of building wealth. And so for a lot of people, they have to take a step back and assess their current mindset and see where their mindset needs to be in order to build wealth. Because a lot of wealthy people weren't born with that mindset of building wealth. It was something that they had to develop. And some developed that mindset by, making mistakes along the way. They made a lot of mistakes and they learned from those mistakes. But this new generation of investors, they don't have to make those same mistakes, because so many successful investors are sharing the lessons that they've learned in order to become successful investors. And you'll notice that a lot of it doesn't have to deal with what they picked per se. It was the approach that they went about as they were on this journey. One of the questions that I love to get from people are questions about the thought process that we went through when we were on our journey, the mindset shift that we had to make in order to be successful at financial independence. Because it's not a get rich overnight type of thing, right? It's something that involves patience, that involves perspective, that involves like team building, there are so many soft skills, so many mindset things that you have to get in place in order to be successful at this.
Yeah, and I think along with mindset, you have to understand that anybody can be an investor.
Anybody.
You can be an investor. Anyone can be an investor. Aman and I didn't come from money. We didn't learn about investing growing up. We would have never said earlier before our journey, oh, we're investors. We know how to invest. It is a process. It is a process of understanding more about financial literacy and understanding the most important thing is that you can be an investor. You can learn about finances. Even if in the past you have never been exposed to it, you can still become a successful investor in learning about investing. So I think that's a key takeaway that you should have for sure. So that is the answer to our question. But just to summarize it again, I think because I really want to point out again, Erika, these different types of investments that you can definitely look into, because you said you didn't have any. And I want to make sure that you know that there are different accounts available to you, these tax advantaged accounts. I think the most popular ones generally for business owners are the solo 401k and the SEP IRA. But again, there's tons of different IRAs, right?
The traditional and the Roth IRA, I think at a minimum, those are great places to start. You don't even need a business for those, right? Some of those accounts come down to really just if you're making any type of income or a certain level of income. But those are great accounts just to get started with. Tax advantage retirement accounts, there's a benefit in one way or another, either on the front end of the investment or on the back end of the investment.
Absolutely. So check those out, learn more about those different accounts that are available to you, the ones that work. We hope that will really help you take advantage of those tax advantaged accounts so that those taxes aren't eating up as much of your money as they would if you put it into a standard brokerage account. So hopefully that answered your question. If you guys have questions for our podcast, make sure you submit them to us. We love listening to them. You can submit them at ourrichjourney.com/podcast. And until then, please listen to the rest of our podcast. We've done a couple already, right? We're continuing to listen to more questions that are submitted to us, and we're having so much fun. We hope that you guys are enjoying this podcast. Make sure you leave us a review on this podcast, and we will see you tomorrow. Remember that we are not financial advisors and the views expressed by us are solely for entertainment purposes. You must make responsible decisions, and that means making decisions based on the thorough independent research that you conduct. Thanks for listening.